If someone challenged you to draw the maddest looking hypercar you could think of, it'd probably look something like this. This truly insane machine is the Apollo Evo. Now, it's existed for a few years as a one-off prototype, but it's finally finished and it's going into full-scale production. Well, they're making 10, and this is the first customer car named, and I'm not joking, the Caribbean Dragon. Coming up, I try to not get a flesh wound from the world's sharpest bodywork. It's all just slashes and cuts. We'll hear the totally unsilenced engine, and I'll show you the most absurd fuel filler cap in the whole world. So you actually have to open these enormous wings every time you want to juice up the tank. Right, where to start?
Tell them the fact about the McLaren P1.
Oh yeah, that is a good one actually. So McLaren was always really proud that the P1 was only made up of 5 body panels because that saved weight, it was good for aerodynamics. So how many body panels do you think are on this? No, you're wrong. 75 individual carbon fibre elements make up the Evo's bodywork, each with 8 layers of hand-finished paint. It's taken 1,000 hours to apply the finish on the Caribbean Dragon, and if you want to protect that with some PPF, you'll need to put on a suit of armour to apply it.
Apollo says this wild shape isn't just about drama. It claims that the cartoon bodywork generates 1,350 kilograms of downforce at just 133 miles per hour.
I don't believe that, to be honest. I can't get my head around a car this pointy with no McMurtry style ground effect fans generating 1/4 of a tonne more downforce than Adrian Newey's Aston Martin Valkyrie. Really?
But there's a spectacular way we could find out for sure.
Because Apollo claims that this fully carbon fibre car weighs just 1,300 kilograms dry. And that's 50 kilos less than the downforce it claims. And that means, and I'm just spitballing here, that if you could put less than 50 kilograms of oil and coolant and petrol in its tanks, theoretically, it could drive upside down?
At least if you crashed while trying and dented it, no one would be able to tell.
The bodywork is all just slashes and cuts and angles. I mean, look down here. You've got this split front wing element which pauses in the middle for this spar which holds on another front splitter. The main headlights are hidden in this crevice down here underneath these incredible anime crisscrosses which are the running lights. You've got fully exposed radiators, fully exposed sections of front tyre, and if you're wondering how on earth this thing is road legal, it isn't. Not strictly, anyway. Apollo says this is a track-only hypercar, but they said that about their last car. And Ferrari said it about the FXX, and Pagani said that about the Zonda R. But it's funny how when these cars end up in the hands of owners, they have an odd habit of ending up on the public highway. So this probably will as well. Come with me, there are so many more details to gawp at. We have a motorsport style kill switch on the windscreen next to your tinted carbon fibre wiper blade. You've got these massive tunnels channeling air out through the front bonnet, fully exposed suspension linkages down here, multi-element wing generating more downforce on top of the wheel arch. From this angle, you really get that sort of Le Mans prototype from the future vibe. You've got this exposed tyre, you've got more wing elements and barge boards down here. You've got the camera, because of course, no door mirrors. And just look at the canopy. Look at the way this is swept round like a fishbowl. It's a proper jet fighter effect, and such a tiny side window. Then coming down here, the bodywork shrink wraps Under itself, you have these enormous triangular intakes, one above the crease and one below it to feed the engine. And this is how you open the door. But I'm not going to show you inside just yet, because we're off to see this car's maddest angle. And while I go this way, here's a fun fact to inspire you if you would like to be a hypercar designer.
Because the guy who sketched this insane exterior was in his 20s when he did it. Supercar designers should never grow up. The designer's name is Join Wong, and he also drew the razor-sharp Apollo IE and the De Tomaso P72, which is all classical curves and flowing lines.
This isn't. This is Stegosaurus plates and knives and razor blades and the biggest 3D printed exhaust ever made for a car. It takes 123 hours to print out this thing, which ends up in pipes that look like a scream mask from the future, and starts back here with pipes that look like an orgy in a snake tank. I've never seen anything like this on a hypercar. And you can have this scaly textured finish tinted to any colour of your choosing. It is a fitting centerpiece. No wonder they've exposed it back here behind the snorkel intake, in front of these spy plane fins and the head of your active rear wing, which will hopefully stick it to the ceiling when you're stuck in traffic in a tunnel. Then lower down, you've got more illuminated fins, fully exposed tyres, a massive tinted carbon fibre diffuser. Just the epitome of hypercar excess and outrageousness, isn't it? But while I go and kneel down next to the interior, for reasons I shall explain momentarily, you're probably wondering, who is Apollo anyway?
The Evo is Apollo's newest model, but the prototype was revealed around 5 years ago. It's the follow-up to the Apollo Intensa Emozione. That was supposed to be a limited run of 10 track-only cars, but some of them seem to have found their way onto public roads. The company was born out of the ashes of the Gumpert Apollo, which once upon a time set lap records around the Top Gear test track and a little German toll road called the Nürburgring. But the heroically ugly Gumpert was a brutal, no-frills, motorsport-inspired, road-going race car with an Audi V8 in the middle, which you'd expect, as it was the brainchild of engineer and ex-Audi rallying mastermind Roland Gumpert. With the Audi connection now severed and the reborn Apollo company under new ownership, Edward Scissorhands over here has a 6.3 litre V12.
We'll take a look at that engine next because, like the Downforce claims, its origins are a little bit murky. But first, the interior. And you're waiting for me to get in. But no, I have to kneel outside like I'm worshipping it because the owner of this car hasn't taken delivery yet. And he says that before he does, no one else can sit inside. Fair enough. It's his €3 million toy, so excuse me while I lean in and talk you around this wild cabin from the outside. The first thing I want to do actually is throw up a picture of the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento interior. Also a track only, definitely not for road special, but take a look at the similarities. I think there's a lot of inspiration from that car here in the small, almost yoke steering wheel, the blade-like metal paddles, and just the huge voids in between where you'd normally have a dashboard. You've just got this horizontal structural spar of carbon fibre and aluminium going left to right, joining another sort of bone coming down here with more rather organic 3D printed aluminium. It's a strange mix really, this, because it looks way too beautifully finished and too boutique to be a race car, to be a track car. And yet, no airbag, no cup holders, no infotainment system, no comfort features really of any kind. You couldn't use it on the road, could you? Actually, looking at it, I think they have integrated a handy phone holder just there. So let me talk you around what you can actually control in here. So on the steering wheel, of course, you've got the paddle shifters, you've got a menu button for your screen up here, which has revs, what gear you're in, speed, temperatures, lap times. Then there's pit speed limiter, so kind of cruise control, reverse button, neutral button, wipers, flash the headlight main beam, and indicators for going into the pit lane. Definitely not for driving it on the road, are we sure? Then your main light control and wiper speed. The wheel is a quick release, so you can pull this gold clasp here and take it off to ease getting in and out. The pedal box is raised a long way off the floor on its own carbon fibre plinth to give you that backside down, feet up seating position. Screens either side of the main display give you your mirror view. Then in the centre, all this physical switchgear, what does it do? We have an adjustable knob here for your ABS, your anti-lock brake settings, adjustable engine map mode, and adjustable traction control modes. Then the key and start procedure, we're about to come to that. Air conditioning controls, fan speed, hazards, the handbrake. Back here, it's just a wall of carbon fibre. These are separate seats, they're not fixed into the tub, so it's quite easy to find your driving position. Oh, and on this central spar down here, you have a button for raising the ride height, which must be for getting it on and off your transporter truck, because you wouldn't dream of driving it on the road, would you? There's a kill switch, there's brake bias adjustment, there's a light adjustment knob, and there's two buttons for opening the world's most over-engineered fuel filler cap. They may have slightly overdone it. In fact, if we just pull here, I'm not kidding, this is the fuel filler cap, because there is the fuel filler neck. So you actually have to open these enormous wings every time you want to juice up the tank. And of course under here, naturally, this is gold leaf, just like the McLaren F1. These are incredibly lightweight, and now you can see the Python party in all its glory. And no hypercar would be complete without a theatrical startup procedure. So here's how it works. You take your Apollo key, which is solid aluminium, but this is milled, not 3D printed. Feels nice and weighty. That lives on a little magnetic connection here, and then you hold down and click, and you have someone push the brake for you. Sadly, you can't actually see what's been creating that music you've been hearing. It's buried under here. A 6.3 litre naturally aspirated V12. Numbers?
It revs to 8,500 RPM and fires 800 metric horsepower, or 789 bhp, at the rear wheels alone through an old school 6-speed sequential paddle shift gearbox. Apollo claims that with 564 foot-pounds of torque, it'll go from 0 to 62 in 2.7 seconds on its way to a top speed of 208.
Thank you. So,
You're welcome.
okay, shush now. Although Apollo doesn't really shout about this, and you certainly won't find any prancing horses buried in this engine bay, the block of this engine starts life as a Ferrari F140 V12, but it's been completely rebuilt and gone over by race specialists HWA. Now, of course, Ferrari really doesn't do crate or donut engines, and that is part of the reason that Apollos will only ever be built in tiny numbers, and they are fantastically expensive.
One of the 10 Evos will set you back a cool €3 million, plus taxes, plus whatever colour dragon skin you'd like your exhaust.
So, are you adding one to your fantasy hypercar collection? I'd want to see a couple of these claims verified with a lap time before I swapped my Pagani or my Bugatti for one. But if you like your hypercars rare and ridiculous, it's quite the attention grabber. Just promise. You wouldn't dream of driving it on the road, would you?